on here. Let's see. Get this. There we go. And we're all set to go here. We'll get some people on here first. Who we got on here now waiting? Let's see. See, tonight we got a lot to talk about because the airlines, I guess, are starting to talk about that they're really hurting, and they're going to be talking to the government this coming week, I guess, if they haven't already. Let's see. Who's the one person we got on here now? Let's see. We got two on here now. We'll just wait a couple minutes. Wait till we get a couple more people on here. Let's see. But yeah, this week here there's been some news floating around that the airlines really want to pressure the government to get people into the country and get tourism rolling and get the airlines back up to par because they've lost billions of dollars, I guess, between all the airlines. That's pretty big. So let's see, we got Marco here, Never Give Up. Steve Ford's on here from Switzerland. Gurkha 9. Hi, Steve. Let's see, Mark Gomez. I might be coming your way, buddy. React. Mark, are you going to be coming to Tracy Martinez? Jason Humphrey, aloha from Merida, Mexico. There we go. Jason Pumphrey, rather. Sinfuls, how you doing, Sinfuls? What's going on? So let's see. We got 9 people on here. This is good. We're just going off to a good start, and you guys are really like chatting on here, so that's good. So if you guys want to shoot any questions or anything, we can get this started or whatever. We got Lazy Larry on here. We're up to 12 people. This is flying tonight, actually. So this is good. Let's see who else we got on here. We got 1 thumbs up already. Mark O'Hare, Chicago, checking in. So that's good. We got the usual people on. This is good. We got a good crowd on here lately. We've been doing really good on the past few weeks. So Mark Gomez says, met some nice ladies. 59 years. So that's good. We got a lot going on here. Yeah, when you guys come here, I mean, the best way to meet ladies is just meet them here. A lot of people meet them online, and then, you know, they get let down. So let's see. J.M. Ramiro, I need to know ASAP, when is Philippines open for U.S. citizens? That's a good question, man. You know, we'll see how that goes. Henry Clay says the pandemic had been very costly for everyone. Jason Pumphrey, when? LOL. Mark Gomez, yes, Tracy. Never give up. Don't forget to let your passport expire. Don't let your passport expire, rather. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, if you have 6 months left on it, usually they won't let you in the country. So make sure you get your passport updated before you come here. When you get here, you can get it up. If you need another one when you're staying here, you can always go to the embassy and get another one. Let's see. Sinful says, let me see. Sitting here at work counting my days, soon to be retired, just paid off rest of my debts, Steve, so financially retired. Woohoo, that's awesome, Sinfuls, because you know something? That's how I did it. You know, I paid off all my debts and everything, and trust me, that's a good feeling. It also gives you a feeling of freedom, you know? Let's see. J.M. Ramirez says, when is Thailand open without quarantine? I think they're opening pretty soon. I'm not really that up on Thailand. I heard stories that they're opening up pretty soon. I'm not sure about the quarantine part. I heard that they might be doing it without a quarantine pretty soon if you have your vaccination. Henry Clay says, I meant the plandemic. Okay. But as far as opening up here, to get back to that a little bit, the airlines are really pressuring the government here. So we might hear something soon. And we're hearing stories and rumors coming out also that, and I have a friend of mine that told me this first. He says that he's here in January sometime. If it's less than 5,000 COVID patients a day or whatever, they might start letting people in on January 1st. But I have 2 other people in the government, and they said something similar, but it was a little bit different. But they were also saying like in January. So who knows? But I think it might happen before then. But if they get this pressure from the airlines, and the airlines really say, hey, you know, we're going to go broke. We've already lost, you know, Philippine Airlines because Philippine Airlines went into bankruptcy. Granted, they're still open and everything, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to go into bankruptcy. So let's see here. Steve Ford says, hi, Steve. On SRRV, which box do you tick? Smile, classic, human touch, or courtesy? They explain all that on the PRA website. I forget which one you are. I can't remember. Okay. Let's see. Human courtesy is the one for if you're doing the military one. okay? I forget whether you were the military or what have you. Let me see. Because I usually just do the courtesies. You can check on the website. It'll explain which one is which. But I always do the courtesy ones. The other ones, we still do, but I can't, I just don't remember the names, to be honest with you, because it's on the checkoff thing there or whatever. But give me a call. I can check on it tonight. I'll go on this website. If you want to give me a call tonight afterwards or tomorrow or whatever. Sinful says, it's a fantastic feeling, no debt ever again. Travel Boy says, love your place and the video tour. Did you retire from the Navy? No, I did not retire from the Navy, man. I was in the Navy on submarines for 4 years. Edward says, hello from Spain. Let me see. Mark Gomez says, thumbs up helps this man every time we attend his channel. Let's see, we got 9 thumbs up, 14 people on here. We're doing good. Let's see. Gene Lamb is on here tonight. Let's see. I'm retired. What is the rumor about January, February? Well, January, February, they're saying they might open. That's the rumor going around. Okay, we're hearing rumors from pretty high up too. This is what's being told to people that are, that are friends of people that are really high up. My 2 people are pretty high up there. They're saying that they're hearing this in the offices. So, but it's just strictly rumor right now. So that's what they're probably trying to come to some sort of conclusion of what they're going to do and when they're going to do it. Let's see. Sinful says your internet signal seems weak today, breaking up a little. Okay, that's unusual. It might, if it does keep breaking up, guys, let me know, please. Okay, because my internet's been a little bit spotty lately this week, so it'd be good to know. But no complaints so far from anybody else, Sinfuls. It could be yours too. Gene Land says Philippines opening up. Yes. That would probably be in January, maybe. That's just, like I said, that's just a rumor, Gene. So relax, James Cup says, good morning from Midwest America. Okay. To get back to Sinfuls, though. No, Steve Ford, rather. Steve, go on to the Philippine website, and it tells which one's which, I forget all the names because I don't really deal with the names too much, so that's why I can't really answer you on that. I just know that the courtesy visa is the one for veterans, okay? So just FYI. Marco here says, Steve, how many refrigerators do you have now, and how many do you think are needed? Well, we have 2 here, okay? Could we do with 1? We probably could, but, we have 4 people in our family, okay? And we always have people coming over and stuff too. And we also have the 2 people that live down further in the other apartment that we have. And, it's just good to have the 2 refrigerators. We put a lot of Coke in there, a lot of fruit, things like that. So it's good to have the 2. I mean, we could have got a bigger one, but the space on this side here is just not big enough to put the big one here. We could have put the big one over there because I have one in front of me and I have one right next to me, which you can see the corner of right there, okay? And they're kind of like mid-size refrigerators too. So just FYI. Let's see here. Let's see. Is anybody breaking up a little here? Okay. Well, if we keep breaking up, we'll put this off till another night then. But we'll see how we go here. Let's see how many. Dickie Spaz says, hello, Steve. Did you see Buffett is getting out of automaker stocks? This could be huge for Tesla. Yeah, I heard he's thinking about Tesla also. He actually thought about that a long time ago because he did mention one time about it. He didn't like Tesla in the beginning. James Cup says, breaking up here a little. Breaking up, Mark Gomez says. Well, that's not good. Steve Ford says, yes, my internet signal keeps stopping. Okay, that's not cool. Let's see, Joe Porter. Nah, man, honest, it's on your end. I'm seeing it too. Smoky Mountain Modeler says, hello, Steve. Wow, I hope. Let me just check something. Give me 1 second here with quality things. Pacific, if you're going for quality, go look on Pacific Prime and they'll give you 10 different quotes. Okay, Pacific Prime is online and you can get 10 different quotes from them. Okay. And you just tell them exactly what you want. You don't need $1 million worth of insurance over here. Just tell them you need like $250,000 worth of insurance, and that'll be fine over here. You don't need $1 million, and it'll save you a few bucks too. Sinful says it's tolerable. Just info, Steve. Lazy Larry says, I turned off my internet and I am using my data. I'm having less problems. Okay, so it could be on your end. I know that Converge is through China, okay? And we've been having problems with kind of glitches and stuff for the past week. So I'm sure they're pissed off about the United States acting up against them now. And the Philippines is also, you know, acting up more against them. So that's kind of a good thing that we are doing that, but they're also acting up on us on the internet, because I noticed our internet has gone down a little bit this week, so it's been kind of crappy. And I think that's our payback. James Corlew says, hello, 3.5 months left to big retirement day. That's gonna go by fast, man. Plan to relocate to Bacolod sometime next year. Leonard Lund says, hi Steve from Houston, Texas. Sounds good and clear. Good, man. Francisco Fletes says, hello, Steve. How you doing, Francisco? Good to see you on board here, man. We have the most awesome crowd on Saturday nights. We really do. It's like we have the regulars that come on here. We also have some new people that come on here, and it's really good to see all you guys on here and all of us talking. And I'm trying to think of something that we can do other than just meet on here all the time, because we can do something else. And I'm thinking about doing some sort of Facebook page or something that we can do. If you guys want to do something like that, someplace where we can talk to each other, and I'm going to try to figure that out, okay? I don't know if I'd be able to run it too much. I could go on there sometimes because I've already got my hands are full answering phones and comments and emails and stuff, but at least it would give you guys an outlet to talk to each other and become friends on here, because we have a lot of people on here, and some of you guys are already becoming friends, which is kind of cool. Let's see, we got 42 people on here, 22 thumbs up. James Cup says, supposed to be all electrical vehicles in the US by 2035. James, that'd be pretty cool if that happens, man. You know, because I'm all pro Tesla. I got 15 stocks right now, 15 Tesla stocks, and I'm thinking about getting 5 more. So I'm hoping to get at least 5 more. I'd love to get 5 more. Stormer says, it's been a few years, but have you found a place with cold beer? And do you still need to wipe the rust off the top of your San Migs? Actually, I don't buy San Miguel. I buy Heineken when I do buy beer, and I don't buy beer that much. I'm not a big drinker, Stormer. But yeah, most of the places around here that serve beer are all closed. So that's the sad part. They don't sell too much beer. You can get it at the store, like at 7-Eleven or places like that, but all the bars and stuff are pretty much closed down. Roger Miller says, internet okay here. Paul S., your signal good here. Okay. Scott says, Steve, a lot of YouTubers are calling for a big market correction. The way I look at it, Scott, is this. I'm in it long term. So, I know which way I think Tesla is going and what amount it'll be worth at some point. So I'm not really worried about a big market correction that so much as other people. I know a lot of other people are talking about that big market correction, and some are saying October or whatever. And it could happen, but I'm not really that concerned about it, because like I said, I go in long term into the market. So that's what I believe in. I'm a long term person. A lot of people switch in and out. I don't do that too much. I do on occasion when I see something I don't like. I just say it's not doing well enough for me. If I see one of my stocks isn't doing well, I'll get out and I'll get into something that's grabbing up the money, and usually I make the right decision that way. But usually I stick in it long term. Let's see. Max says, Steve, good to see you. See you got a box coming your way with organic Vermont maple syrup and goodies. Haven't talked to you in a long time. Hope Tom's doing fine. Let's see. Good to see you got a box coming your way. Okay, Mac. Not sure how you got my address, but you can get it here. Cool. Let's see. Scott, Converge is owned by a Chinese guy. I think it's owned by it's a Chinese company, last I heard. That's what somebody told me anyway. So I'm just going off what they told me. But it does seem kind of funny that whenever China acts up, the internet acts up. So they kind of correlate together. See, James Cup could be YouTube feed here also. Could be, because it seems like everything's going pretty clear here. Jason Pumphrey says, Add Scott, XXX, very true, even if you need to, just start now. Let's see. Francisco Fletes, I'm happy about the US, UK, and Australia thing. Yes, definitely. Submarines. Nuclear submarines. You know me, I'm a submariner, so I'm all gung-ho about that, man. That's what we need is more submarines around here. And it's kind of cool because it'll be warm water submarines this time instead rather than the Cold War stuff, you know. Sinful says, Zoom call. Don't have Facebook. Yeah, Sinful, talk to me. Let me see. Give me a yell tomorrow sometime on through email, and I'll check my emails in the morning, and I'll give you my phone number, okay? And you can give me a call. You might already have my phone number. I forget, but you can give me a call tomorrow or whatever. Just email me and ask me for my phone number, and I'll send it to you, okay? We can talk tomorrow if you have any questions, and I'll go on there and I'll chat. I'll give you the name of whichever one you're on. I just don't recall what they are right now because I deal with the courtesy one all the time. Stephen Shore says, good evening, Steve from Leicester, England, UK. How you doing, Steve? Welcome aboard. I think you've been on here before. I used to pull into Portsmouth, England, Portsmouth. And we used to go to Weymouth and Salisbury all the time. We used to actually go out to Stonehenge. Edward, I have no Facebook, LOL. There's not too many people that don't have a Facebook today. I didn't have a Facebook for a whole year because they took it away from me. You know, because I was helping veterans, and I guess Facebook doesn't like that because it's too American for them. Smoky Mountain Modeler says, let the admins take care of the Facebook page. Yeah, I mean, I could do something like that. I could put some administrators in charge of it or what have you, you know. But I do want to do something like that. I think that would be kind of cool, and then see where it goes from there. Because, you know, that's a good idea to keep you guys in touch. I'm gonna look into that more. Maybe within this month I'll try to get to something like that. I'm like all backed up right now between helping some veterans here and some other people here get over here, some expats too. Ryan, U.S. Navy. Hey, Steve. I just browsed Philippine Airline website and round-trip airfare in January, New York to Cebu, $1,158. Not bad. Last time I traveled to the Philippines in 2019, it was $695 round trip. Yeah, man. For me, taking China Air, it cost me about $700. That's what it cost me back in like 2018. Let's see. Never Give Up says, I would love to get the Tesla truck and park it in front of my one-room log cabin. There you go. So you got a log cabin too, huh? Never Give Up. I used to have one up in Berlin, New Hampshire. I used to live up at a cabin in Berlin, New Hampshire on 23 acres. And I used to love it up there. You know, it was right up in the heart of the mountains. It's right in the White Mountains, man. Archie Pelego says, if countries are closed to delay declaring bankruptcy, then they may stay closed for years to try to protect themselves. It could be, because right now is a bad time to go through bankruptcy because you don't know what's going to come after this because nobody knows what the new normal is going to be in the airline industry, and that could wipe out a lot of airlines, and that's what I'm kind of worried about. So Sinful says, signal is good now. Guess the Chinese guys listening in are good, in a good mood now. Haha, there we go. Scott says, Kathy Woods is calling for a decades-long bull run. Yeah, this is what she said. She says that, yeah, I read that. We might have like a little bit of dip. We always, a little bit of a dip anyway in October. We always have a little bit of a dip. October's not a good month for the stock market usually. Yes, what kind of shoes do you wear most often? Does everyone mostly wear sandals all the time? I don't wear sandals. I wear them around, like outside if I walk around out here, but otherwise I wear Sperry shoes, yes. I actually did a video about that because Sperry shoes are excellent for over here. They're probably the most comfortable and the coolest shoes you can wear over here. And not just that, if you buy the cheap shoes over here, they just don't last. And Sperry, they have a great bargain over here. You buy two, get one free. And that sale's been going on forever over here. So just, if you want to get shoes, man, Sperry's. Sperry's is the way to go. I love Sperry's. Those are the docksiders or topsiders or whatever they call them. You know, Don Murphy says, hello, Steve from the home of Oak Island, Nova Scotia. How you doing, Don? I can't wait for the new season to start, actually. It should be starting soon, I think. Probably in about another month, I think. Wong Hung Lo says, Steve, Grab will have an IPO this year, partnered with AGC. That'd be a good company to get into, but I'm not so I don't know. Maybe it would be. I know that Uber and Lyft didn't do too good. You know, they don't do well. I'm not even sure if they're even profitable yet, because I know for a while they weren't. I haven't looked at those stocks in a while. I'll have to take another look at those sometime and see how they're doing. James Cupp says, double up on Tesla and hold on at least through 2035. think the stock will double or triple up by then. It'll more than double or triple. She's talking 3,000 by 2025, and it's only like 750 right now. So it'll more than double or triple. Trust me, it's going to do very, very well. Tesla will. I also think that Apple's going to do good. You know, if Apple with their car, they're talking about their car coming out soon. If Apple's car does well, then I think Apple will start getting into that stuff. I think they just bought some sort of test track or something too. So this is going to be interesting to see how Apple competes with Tesla. And I don't know whether the Apple car is going to be electric or, you know, whether it's going to be gas. I would imagine it's going to be all electric. But it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Marcus Graham, hi Steve. My aim is to retire in Dasma. Been there many times, but closer to Walmart. What are the medical situations, such as hospitals close by? You got De La Salle University Hospital over there in that area. And that's the best hospital around this area. And I love De La Salle University Hospital. If you guys know me, and you've heard me talking about it, I love the doctors there. I love the dentists there. My dentist is there. My doctors are all there. The only thing that's not there is my VA doctor. Okay, but I love the doctors there. I love the people that work there. The hospital is very professional. It's clean. It's nice. I think you'd be very happy there, Marcus. Sinful says, I meant Zoom group for call for us. But yes, need to talk with you about Magic App. Yeah, we can talk about Magic App, man. If you want, if you got my phone number, I'm not sure. I think you got my phone number. Just give me a phone call tomorrow, like anytime after like 11 a.m. in the morning over here would be fine with me. Or if you don't have the phone number, like I said, just email me and ask me for it, and I'll send it to you. Okay, Sinfuls? Steve Ford says, Steve, I signed a NDA, so cannot disclose my employers. So do I need to call you referring SRRV? Let's see, Steve. Yeah, you can call me about that. Yes, sure. Let's see. Sinfuls wants. I'm getting Steve Ford and Sinfuls mixed up here. I'm sorry. Let's see. Eng Hubby is saying, hi Steve from Portland, the original one, near Weymouth, UK. There we go. Sinful says, Ryan, U.S. Navy just bought my wife a one-way ticket for October 3rd, 2090. Wow, that's expensive, man. Scott says, Steve, if you met Kathy Woods and she asked you on a date, would you say yes? She's almost 70 years old. I think she's like 68, 67 years old. She looks pretty good. I wouldn't say she's not a bad-looking woman for her age. I mean, 67 years old, but I don't know. My girlfriend might get jealous. But yeah, I think she's an attractive woman. She's not a bad-looking woman for her age. A lot of people think she's younger, but she's actually an older woman. Sinful says, Philippine Airlines. Let's see. Traveling Hobo says, greetings from the blue state of Virginia. Can't wait to escape California light. Chinoy says, good morning, Steve. Lazy Larry, hi, the Traveling Hobo. Chinoy says, Traveling Hobo, tell me about it. I'm in California. Lazy Larry, let's see. They're having a conversation going back and forth. JD says, good morning, Steve from Texas. Willie White says, good day. Lazy Larry, Chinoy, hi Larry. James Colo, Colorado is changing its name to Colorado. Yeah, I heard that they're getting a lot of the people from California, so that's changing the way things are there. Let's see, we're up to 67 people, so we're doing good tonight. We can keep this rolling. You know, we can do a full hour and a half tonight if you guys want to. Let's see, 34 thumbs up. We're doing good. Dickie Spaz says, 10 million plus open jobs. Nobody wants to work. We are doomed. I agree, Dickie. You know, that's kind of rough, man, back in the States. I mean, things are changing back there. Attitudes are changing. People are changing. It's almost like the government's kind of promoting laziness. And I heard that they had, 4,200 people living underneath an underpass down near the Mexican border or something like that? 4,200 people. And it's just like this. It's not a huge underpass either. I thought that was kind of amazing. You know, Brian Gilday says, Steve, are you from Lawrence or Lowell? I'm actually from Lawrence, man. I lived near Lowell one time, near Drake. Let's see. It says, also, I loved your Mount Monadnock stories with your dad. Yeah, man, I used to go climbing a Mount Monadnock all the time with my dad. I've climbed that mountain many, many, many times. I've actually also gone up to the Pompelli Cave up there. There's a Brian, if you want to look up something really cool, look up Pompelli Cave or hut on Mount Monadnock. Okay, it's in YouTube videos, and I've actually been to that place. I was there when it was untouched, and all the books and everything, and all the antiques were left in it. It hadn't been found. It had just been found like that year, and only 3 or 4 people had been there probably before us when we went there. We actually stayed there overnight, and man, we had the place all cleaned up and everything. And then the people went up there and took all the stuff out. It was kind of sad because all the stuff was there from like the 1920s and 30s, and it was basically untouched, and it was beautiful. You know, it was like walking into a time capsule with that big door that it had there. I don't know how often you go up to Mount Monadnock, if you know the place. Check it out. Let's see. Hello from Montana. Haha, Colorado. Sinful says, more thumbs up, folks. Thank you, Sinfuls. James Cup says, California is toast after Newsom won the recall this week. Run away as fast as you can. I don't know how he won that recall, man. I don't know. I like Meet Kevin. You know, I watch his. If you guys want to check out something, check out Meet Kevin. That guy's got a good website, but check out some of his older stuff. He does stuff. He talks about stocks and Tesla and all that stuff on there too. But he also talks politics on there too. Meet Kevin's pretty cool. He's a cool dude. He's a young guy too, and he's a millionaire. Quite a few times over, I might add, from stocks and houses. Guy's brilliant. Let's see, Scott says, I noticed Kathy is 65. Okay, she's 65. I knew she was up there. I thought she was 50. Did you see her life story on YouTube? She is interesting. She is a very interesting woman. She's a really cool woman, too. She is a pretty woman, even though she's 65. She's a very nice woman, too. She's kind of a geek, but she's kind of a nice woman, you know? She's got that kind of geeky personality, but she's pretty. Sinfuls, it's over 10K now under that bridge. Looks no different than Portland, Seattle, and LA. Yeah. You know, I don't know what the president's going to do about that stuff, man. That's not to talk politics. I usually don't like to talk politics, but I mean, it's getting maddening now. People are starting to get really ticked off. I mean, they're just letting the country crumble at this point, it seems like. I mean, for me, it hurts to watch my country. And it hurts to watch this stuff going on, you know. And you know what they'll do? They'll take all those people and they'll put them in the housing and they'll throw money at them. And that's the sad part. And who ends up paying for that in the end? And, you know, I don't know what the reasoning is behind that, but these people are all wrong in their reasoning. Marcus Graham says, in your opinion, Steve, my wife is a dual citizen, Aussie, Philippines. Do you think that could help with retirement visa? No, that doesn't help. It doesn't help at all, okay? If she's a dual citizen, you wouldn't really need to put her on the SRRV. The SRRV would be more for you, okay? But I don't know if you'd want to put. You don't need to put her on there. You just need to do it for yourself. It would also protect you if you ever went through a divorce, by the way, because you can stay in the country then. Just FYI. Robert Nagao says 12,000 under the bridge in Del Rio, Texas. That's crazy. And that's really, really crazy. Whatever amount it is, I can't remember exactly what the amount. I thought it said like 4,200 or 42. It was a lot, and it was growing. They said there's a lot of people down there, and there's people that live around there. They get mad and stuff because of the trash. Francisco Fleta says U.S. is moving toward universal income. Unfortunately, totally de-incentivizing work. I noticed that all these people, like AOC and stuff, they're all talking about sending monthly checks to people. And, you know, where are they going to get, how are people going to pay taxes if they're just collecting money? You're just going to pay your money back in taxes at the end of the year from your check. It doesn't make any sense anymore the way, I mean, sometimes I walk away shaking my head when some of these people talk in government today, and I walk away and it's like, wow. Let's see, Archie Palego says thumbs up, 70 watching, get the thumbs up. Let's see, we're up to 72, 46 thumbs up. Sinful says, now that Newsom won, they're already wanting to change recall rules. It figures, right? You know. Francisco Fleta says, here in Taguig, they are now allowing indoor dining if you're fully vaxxed. They check your vaccination card. I might have to go up to Taguig. So, Francisco, if you're up in Taguig and you go to the BCG Mall and you have your vax card, you can sit down and actually eat, and you don't have to have glass between you. Answer me that, because I'm interested in that, because I might go up there. That sounds good. Lazy Larry says, Marcus Graham, apply for the 13A. You know, here's the thing. If you apply for a marriage visa over here and you go through a divorce, they can get you kicked out if you know. So that's why I tell people, get the SRV and protect yourself if you can. If you got the money, go the SRV always. And it's just good to have. There's a lot of benefits on that too. You get a discount for Phil Health and some other things too. And you get to go on trips with the PRA, by the way. They do trips, and they have a Christmas party, and it kind of keeps you in touch with people. There's also another organization up in Manila that I have to look into, and I haven't looked into it because of the of the virus right now. There's an organization up there that I have to look into for people that are married to Filipinas, okay, over here, and it's like a Philam American thing, and they have like a lot of stuff going on. They also help people in need and things like that. It's a good organization to get into, and I'm gonna look into it more, just to make sure that it's all about what I heard it's about. And when I hear about that, I'm going to try to join so I can find out more. And then what I'll do is I'll let you guys know what's going on with that, because that might be a good thing for all of us to get into, guys, you know? Let's see. BuzzTrans9 says, meet Kevin is a smart fellow. Yes, he is. He's really smart when it comes to money and finances, and he's a fast thinker, man. He's very fast on his thinking. He's good in politics, but he's also good in money. You know, Brian Gilday, I went to Central Catholic in Lawrence, so I know Lawrence pretty well. There you go, Brian. A homeboy. Let's see, Dickie Spaz. Those who fall for universal income trap will never own anything. Exactly. Francisco Fletes says, we won because California is filled with lefties. They actually love that crap. I voted for Arnold back in the day to recall Gray Davis. Kevin Doolittle says, evening, Steve. How you doing, Kevin? Good to see you on here, man. Mark Norris says, Steve, the reason for America's decline is genuine socialists trying to change the U.S. The U.S. is changing in a very bad way, and I'm afraid they've already got their grips on the United States, and they have everybody else by the gonads, you know, and people aren't standing up to it. They're just kind of kicking back and relaxing. And that's one of the reasons, I mean, a lot of these people are leaving because they're sick of the U.S. And here's the problem. If they change the U.S., they might change like all these retirements that people have and everything. That's what I'm getting concerned about. So, I mean, that does concern us. So it you know, in some ways, somebody needs to stick up for us expats, because we don't have a voice in the government anymore. And that's kind of sad. You know, I think that Hawaii kind of stands up for Philippine residents a little bit. They kind of represent us, because we really don't have a state per se to really represent us. Michael Robert, there are 10K plus migrants under the Del Rio Bridge in Texas, almost all from Haiti, but we're living in South America. That's incredible, man. Chinoy says, Steve, may I ask which broker do you use? I use Ameritrade, man, which is actually the same as, what's that other one? The one that everybody talks about. They're switching over to another company anyway. For some reason, I can't recall what it is. But Ameritrade is switching to the other one that everybody talks about that's really good. I have invested some money with Vanguard and also invested in high-yield stocks. What are your thoughts? Well, I mean, if you're looking for like dividend stocks and stuff like that, high-yield dividend stocks are good to get into. There's some nice mutual funds and ETFs to get in out there. There's a lot of that stuff. Right now, at my age, what I'm looking for is I want good returns. So that's why I'm in Tesla, and I'm in a lot of almost all the ARK ETFs, or at least not all now. I backed out of a couple of them. Let's see, Michael Roberts says they heard the U.S. will let them in. That's the problem. That's the problem, Michael, is that they hear this stuff, and then they come here and they don't leave because the U.S. lets them stay here. And what's going to happen is we all know the way that these people vote, so it hurts America's voting bloc because these, you know, and then what they do is they fast track these people into citizenship to get them voting. James Curlew says, Steve, it hurts to work for the DOD after we left our own in Afghanistan. Oh man, trust me, I'm with you on that one. And I think you guys know where I stand. I've talked about that. I took a big hit for that. I actually lost a couple people, but I mean, I agree to disagree, and I let everybody voice their opinion on here. And sometimes people ask me, why, Steve, why do you censor? Because some people on here, they can't have a decent argument without swearing or being insulting towards people. And those are the people that we take off the channel sometimes. There's not many people that I take off. Most people on this channel, I have to admit, they're really decent people. I had a person emailed me the other day because he got taken off, and I just didn't like the way he voiced his opinion and the way he said things to me and to my subscribers. So I told him, I said, if you can be a little bit kinder in your words, then I mean, I'm in charge, and I don't want trash on my channel. I want to keep it civil on here, and that's the way I like to have my channel, and everybody else does too, I think. Let's see. AOC is talking about wealthy paying their fair share of taxes. The wealthy, people can say what they want, but the wealthy do keep America going in their way. I mean, do they pay their fair share of taxes? Most of the time they know all the loopholes. And I think there should be like a minimum or something. I think she is right in some cases, but I don't agree with her on anything else. I'll agree with her on that aspect, but I don't think that there should be like a 30% tax or something like that. No. Dickie Spaz says, the current commander-in-chief created the problem at the border. Let's see, has now banned air traffic along the border, so news outlets can't film the disaster. So that's the problem. Nobody should be able to block air traffic because they don't want the news to get out the truth. And that's the sad part. That's the real sad part. See, Scott says, the Trumpster was a good prez. I had no problems with Trump except the way that he didn't have what Reagan had. I think he could have been a better president, but I think he was attacked so much by the left that was the problem. I mean, and usually I don't talk politics, but this is live stream, so I mean, I kind of open up a little bit more on here. My thing with Trump was the way he dealt with things. I think that he dealt with things like kind of in a childish way sometimes. He could have did better in that respect. As far as the way he dealt with other things, he did a pretty good job. He did mess up on a few things. I didn't like the way he dealt with the Kurds, things like that. There's a lot of things I didn't like that he did, but for the most part, yeah, I liked him as a president overall. But like I said, he did need to fix his lingo a little bit with some people. Michael Roberts says, news story today saying they will be put on planes back to Haiti. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. But I don't see that happening under this administration. I really don't. I think they'll give them a voting block and they'll stick them somewhere. They'll probably stick them like in Detroit or spread them out all over the country, wherever they need, more votes or whatever. Ephraim Dunlap says, good evening, Steve. Best to you and yours. It seems like March, May 2022, Philippines open. I don't know. I was saying today that the airlines are actually kind of going after the government to try to open up. Okay, so we might see some movement now that the airlines are jumping on the government over here because they really want to get people over here. And I think the tourist industry does too. Let's see, Scott at Vincent Smith, AOC puts her mask on only when the camera is on her. Yeah, probably, Mark Gomez, ineffective. Michael L, we'll catch this on the reply today. A bit busy today. That's fine, Michael. Good to see you on here, though, man, and checking in. Smoky Mountain Modeler, anyone know what the rental market is like in Tagaytay? Yeah, Smoky Mountain Modeler, I don't know if I told you about this. I don't know if you were the one that asked me. I've had a lot of people asking me about Tagaytay. What you do is you go on, you type in Tagaytay Rentals on Facebook, okay, and you'll get a whole bunch of stuff on there, okay, because I joined some of those things just to see what the prices are over there because they also have like vacation rentals over there and stuff. There's a lot of rentals on there. You can check it out. But go on, that's a good way. But there's a lot of rentals over there, but they're a little bit more expensive over there. Dickie Spaz says, Scott, so true. Let's see. Leonard Lunn, I don't like to talk politics, but Newsom won the original election by something like 60%, and no other state would have even allowed this recall. It was just a Trump attempt to switch the state. I don't know about that. Newsom, afterwards, he wasn't very well liked for some reason, but I'm not really into California politics that much. I did send $5 to meet Kevin. I will admit that, I like to meet Kevin. I think he would have made a great governor, and I think he would have represented the people a little bit better there. He would have represented both sides. I'll just say that. You know, I think he is a Democrat, but I think he's kind of more of a in the middle type of guy. You know, so more independent thinker. USA to Philippine Life says, "Hi Steve, good evening to you there. How goes the lockdown situation there this week?" Well, we're still in MECQ. We're waiting to see what's going to happen here in like another week, which direction they're going to go. I still think we're going to still be in MECQ, unfortunately, which means that more restaurants will close down. Sinful says, that is list of Phil-Am groups. Let's see, Francisco Fletes says, yes, I ate at the Korean barbecue restaurant today with my girlfriend and family, 6 of us in a booth. You have to be fully vaccinated to sit inside. If you're not vaxxed, you can eat al fresco. Yeah, I don't go for that al fresco sitting in the hot sun, man. That just doesn't do anything for me. Don Murphy says, the rental market in Tagaytay is excellent and cheap. Yeah, it's not too bad. Tagaytay is a little bit more expensive than the other surrounding areas. Depends where you go, though, there. Just like anywhere else. And it depends on the view that you get also. Chaya Sisawa says, hi, Steve. I'm searching for companies to ship household box to Bulacan. Is there any company here around the Boston area? I'm still stay at Hanscom Air Force Base. You know, if you type in Balikbayan box, okay, shippers in the Boston area, you'll probably have something come up there. I don't remember the name of the companies I used years ago when I was married to my ex-wife that was Filipina. I'm sure you can find them there. Just look up Balikbayan boxes. I believe there was a place somewhere near Chelsea or Everett or something like that. But you'd have to look it up. I just don't know the name of the company, and it might be closed by now, and it might be other ones. I'm sure there's usually one in each state. They used to ship 55-gallon drums of clothing and stuff, and whatever you want, you could stick in the 55-gallon drum, they would ship for you. It was pretty cool. Mark Gomez says, you fixed or waited out the spotty connection. Maybe I waited it out. I'm not sure, but it worked out anyway, so that's good. Michael Robert, by the way, Orange County, California is solid Republican. That's kind of cool that you guys actually have a county in there that's solid Republican. That's nice. I always think of California as, you know, all Democrats there. But yeah, I keep forgetting you guys have some sections there that are all Republican. I think up north too. Let's see, Ephraim Dunlap, getting too political here, Steve. Yeah, usually when we have live stream, we open up a little bit more on here. But yeah, you do normally stay away from politics. But tonight, we open it up a little bit. You know, everybody on here is pretty cool with each other, so and we all know each other. We're not getting too feudalist, like having a civil war on here or anything like that. So it's cool. Scott says a lot of guys in the Philippines are living entirely with their government pension. Yeah, most of the people are retired government pensions. I mean, I myself have a municipal pension. So, I mean, yeah, a lot of people come over here with the government pensions. There are a lot of people in the United States. I mean, I got to say this. That anybody that served in the military always has a place in their heart for the Philippines for some reason. I'm not sure quite why. Because even if they didn't serve in the Philippines, they got to know a lot of Filipino people in the military. And I think that's why, because they just saw the friendliness of the people and everything, and that's why they come here. You know, I mean, I never went to the Philippines in the military, but I met a lot of Filipino people, and I liked them, and I became friends with them, and a lot of people talked about the Philippines, and even as a kid, I kind of liked the Philippines. When I was like in the 4th grade, I did a report on the Philippines, and you know, it always kind of attracted me here. I'm not sure what it was, whether it was the islands or the coconut trees or the warm weather or whatever it was, but you know, it's just an attractive place to go for anybody, you know. Sinful says, Don Murphy, I have a nice house rented for $600 a month in a gated community. That's pretty cool, man. Let's see, Sinful says in Silang. That's not bad. Gated community. Some gated communities here are really cheap. In Dasma, man, in a gated community, you get a 3-bedroom home here for like about 200 and something. Timothy Certain says, Charles Schwab. That's the name. Yeah, Ameritrade is changing to Charles Schwab. That was the name I forgot. So my memory is not that great tonight. I'm kind of tired. Francisco Fleta says, I left California to Texas because of the lefty crap, but eventually I just left U.S. altogether. U.S. is becoming socialist, unfortunately. You know, Francisco, that's like with Massachusetts. It's the same exact thing. And the people from Massachusetts that were all of that feather, I'll say, you know, that the Democrats all moved up into New Hampshire, and they changed the voting block up in New Hampshire. And it kind of ticked off the people in upper New Hampshire. So it changed everything in New Hampshire, and New Hampshire kind of became like Vermont, because Vermont is very Democratic. And also up in Maine, they kind of had the same thing happen up there, because people started, you know, going up into Maine from Massachusetts. So it's spreading like wildfire, and it's kind of scary. And I don't think it's so much. I think what it is, it's the younger generation that's moving out and spreading out, and that's what's happening, because those people, they think a lot different than the older group, you know. So James Cup says, American dollar is going to be cut in half because of UN. Might happen, who knows? I hope not, because it would certainly kill me over here. Sinful says, Chaya Sisawa, check out Uniworld. Did you hear that, Chaya? In Hanscomfield? Sinful says, check out Uniworld. Scott James, can you be a little more specific? Let's see. Don Murphy says, hey, yeah, I've seen some nice places there around 500 Canadian dollars. Looks like where I am going to go as they open up. See, Dickie Spaz says, exactly, Steve. I suspect sometime sooner rather than later, if you have a pension, 401k, or investment income, the feds will say no longer qualifies for Social Security or Medicare. I kind of think something's going to happen in the future with what's going on in the United States. I'm really getting worried about that, and that's one of the reasons why I continue to save. I mean, let's hope some crash doesn't happen, and then all of a sudden the United States just collapses, or collapses financially or something with all the stuff that's going on. That's what I worry about. I mean, I'm just being honest here. That's my gut feelings. I hope it doesn't happen. You know, here's my thoughts on the United States. The United States is like a clock, a pendulum clock. And before it swings all the way to the right, it's got to go all the way to the left. And unfortunately, we're almost in full swing. So let's just look at it that way, okay? But that's kind of the way the United States goes sometimes. We go through like these things, and we go back and forth, and it could take another decade before it fully swings back. We don't know. Who knows? Before people start seeing what's wrong with what they're doing. I mean, look at Venezuela and all these other countries. Let's hope we don't go that route. I mean, people actually voted all that stuff in, and then afterwards they were upset at their government, and they're the ones who voted it in. Well, the United States is kind of doing the same thing right now, unfortunately. So Chaya Sisawa says, thanks, Sinfuls. Let's see. Sinful says, Trump lacked tact. Yes, he did. Again, guys, we are talking politics tonight. I just want to put out this disclaimer, because this is like open. Anything's open on Saturday night. We talk about anything on here. It's just for fun, just to enjoy the night and to answer questions or whatever. But we also talk and stuff like that. So I don't mean to disrespect anybody on here or anything. I know we have people on both sides here, and we always keep it respectful for sure. So just FYI. Mark Norris says, saw an article that Biden's circle is considering blocking VA disability and Social Security benefits if not vaxxed. Yeah, that would hurt some for sure. Definitely. I don't think he could do that, though. I'm already vaxxed, so I got vaxxed at the VA, so they know I'm vaxxed. A Brit in Saigon. Sooner or later, the Taliban will be fighting an insurgency civil war of their own. They may have a lot of guns now, but they are unable to run the country and put food on the table. Yes. Let's see. China's going to support them, though. China's going to go in there big time, because they want all those rare earth metals over there. Let's see, we're up to 90. We got 58 thumbs up, guys. Let's see, Marcus Graham. No offense, Steve. I am an Aussie, but I would prefer more info from writers' questions about Philippines than the U.S. We were actually talking a little bit about Australia earlier, about the submarines and stuff that you guys are going to be getting. So, yeah, I don't mean to... I know we have people on here from Australia and the UK and everything, and you guys are welcome to throw out your questions or whatever you want to change the discussion to. We'll more than likely, more than welcome whatever you want to throw out there. Scott says, people complain The rich don't pay enough tax, but the problem is the government needs to learn how to spend it smarter. Baki King says, greetings, my man. 9 months until I hit the eject button and return to Cebu. There we go, man. Scott says, do you think China will partner up with the Taliban? They already have. They already have. From what I understand, they already have. They've already got something going on with them. I'm not sure how deep they're going to go into this, but I think they will. So, Scott says, I can hear your popcorn popping now. I feel like eating popcorn. No popcorn here, man. Let's see. Vincent Smith says, all politicians put their mask on when the camera is on them. Let's see. Chinoy, it says, message retracted, buddy. Vincent Smith, Newsom is unliked, but the choices to replace him were so terrible. That's why he won by 60%. You know, Vincent, I disagree with you on that because, like I said, I sent money to Meet Kevin, that guy Kevin. We call him Meet Kevin because that's what he uses online on YouTube. And I'll tell you something. I actually like that guy, and he was pretty good. And I think he would have been a better choice than Newsom. But that's my opinion. I don't live in California, so it doesn't really matter anyway. Mark Norris says, a few years back, the government considered asking the very wealthy if they could forfeit part of their Social Security to help future Social Security stability. The answer was a big no. Yes, unfortunately, they feel like us, that they put money into it, that they earned it. Chinoy, Newsom won't lose because of all the unions are backing him up in their own interests. Let's see. Baki King says, iContainers is good for shipping goods if you want to ship household goods. Let's see. Archie Palego says, one SRRV option says, age 50, deposit $10,000 on a condo, pension $800 for a single expat. Pension $800 for a single expat. Yeah, I think it's different on the 10K one. You know, that the pensions are different, but for the courtesy visa, you have to have $1,000. I don't know that much about the other ones. The agent that I work with deals with all those ones mostly. I help mostly with the courtesy visas, but I always direct expats. Like you guys always know, I always direct people. I help expats and the veterans on these SRRV visas. So just FYI, guys, like if you're not a veteran or if you are a veteran, either way, I'll help you on the SRRV visas, and I'll direct you in the right direction. And the agent that I have, I've mentioned this before in here. I just want to make sure you guys understand this. She don't charge a nickel. Okay, she works for free. She gets paid by the PRA from your application fee. When she's completed getting you through the process, she gets paid by the PRA. So a lot of these other agents here, they not only collect that money, but they also collect $1,000 or $2,000 from you. So that's why I picked this agent specifically for you guys, because she's free. And what I do is I help you on the flip side, and I'll give you the information on getting the apostles and the police report. Okay, so I help on that end, just FYI. She helps with all the picking which SRRV option is best for you and all that stuff. I mean, I can help you a little bit, like, because with the courtesy one, if you're not in the military, I just send you to her and she picks and chooses which one fits you the best. Okay, just so you guys know. If you ever need help on that and you need her information, you can email me. Okay, it's steven5975@yahoo.com, and I'll help you go through the retirement process, and I'll send you her information and everything, and you can get in here. And actually, right now with the trial program, guys, you can get in here, and people are starting to they're actually getting them through the process. And it looks like some of those people, the first ones, will be over here in 10 weeks. So I think they'll be over here in 10 weeks. We'll see. I'm thinking about 10 or 12 weeks though. The first group will come over. So that's good news for SRRV holders. But I think sometime soon, because of the airlines, that they're pushing to get things open over here. So that might get things open, maybe even before Christmas. But I'm not hopeful for before Christmas, but I think it's going to open up by January for almost for sure. But like I said, we have to wait and see. Let's see. Tim Rapp says, hi, Steve. Late to the show. Good morning from the desert Southwest. How you doing, Tim? Welcome aboard, man. Retire 35, Southeast Asia. Do you see many expats retired over there younger than 40? No. I've never met anybody over here younger than 40 over here. I've talked to a few people that were talking about coming over here, and never heard from them again after that. It's always people 40 or over. Usually it's people 45 or older, okay? So Smoky Mountain Model says, we may have come over in different ships, but we are in the same boat now. Yeah. Let's see, we got 101 people on here, 64 thumbs up. Delaware Surf, Chaya Sisawath, usually a Filipino food store, is a Balikbayan affiliate. Perhaps LBC is in your area. Yeah, yeah. If you can find a Filipino store, you can usually ask them. Chaya, there's not too many Filipino stores around where he is. So he's at Hanscom Air Force Base, which is right around where I used to live. Actually, I actually grew up in the Bedford Billerica area, and I also lived in Lexington on weekends, and then I moved to Lawrence later on. Dickie Spaz says Medicare. Norris, I wouldn't give it up either. In my opinion, we would cure a lot of our problems, but trimming the fat and stop the pork projects. I think the government's spending like a drunken sailor on both sides. I think that needs to stop. Gunny John says, Steve, is there a place called Shore Pinoy in Quincy that uses LBC? I don't know. I'm not sure. You know, it could be the place. Could be the place, but I'm not sure. You can go there and they will give you boxes to use, and it's unlimited weight. Okay, so Shore Pinoy in Quincy. If you hear that, the guy from Hanscom, check what Gunny John wrote there, and that'll help you out a little bit. Smoky Mountain Modeler says, we have one of those stores here in Knoxville. Let's see. James Cup, UN wants universal income parity between countries, no matter where you live. So America has to cut the GDP in half. That's kind of sad, man, when you think about it. You know, I mean, if we go on parity with these other countries, man, I can't even imagine what it's going to be like living for Americans, because we're just not used to that. For Android 101, Balikbayan boxes, most Panays here in the U.S. use DHL. Yeah, DHL's not bad, but the Balikbayans are certainly cheaper. Mark Norris says, I was looking at a Facebook group about the Philippine scams and crime. If true, it made petty crimes seem common. Even security guards and housekeepers looked crooked. I don't know if I'd go that far. There is some weird stuff going on sometimes around here that people don't talk about. I understand what you're talking about, Mark, because when I was hanging around my friend when I first got over here, I saw a lot of weird stuff going on. I'll admit that. You know, but for the most part, Filipinos that know me treat me good. And that was over in Dasma. It wasn't over here. And even some of the people in law enforcement were involved in that, unfortunately. It was kind of sad. Francisco Fletes, Texas Roadhouse in Taguig is allowing indoor dining for vaccinated. I like Texas Roadhouse. Now you caught my attention. So, let's see, you're spot on. It took 8 years of Obama, and then the country went back to the other end to Trump. Yeah, it's kind of like a pendulum, you know. Smoky Mountain Modeler says, when the U.S. goes to a digital currency, look out. Well, El Salvador is already going that route, but that's a minor country, so it really doesn't matter. I think Venezuela went that route too, kind of. On their own, though, I might add. Steele says, hello. How you doing, Steele? William Burnell says, democratic views sounds great to some, but get ready to pay 80% taxes. Yeah, man, it's going to be like Sweden, because Sweden pays high taxes, but they get a lot of benefits. Sweden somehow made it work, but there's people over in Sweden that are against that, too. I have family over in Sweden, and let me tell you something. They made it work somehow. I don't know how they made it work, but there are people over there that don't like it also. So I'll just say that. But my niece over there, she loves it over there. And most of my relatives over there love it, too. They say that they like their government. But there are people over there that are against it, too. So I don't know. I'd have to live there and find out on my own, but that's what they say. Dickie Spaz says, Steve, do you know what the benefits of SRV over 13A other than costs? Yeah, the benefits are if you do the marriage thing, if you get, you know, then it's totally different because it'll protect you. You can stay here. You know, you get married or something like that on a marriage visa, then they can kick you out. You know, if they want to divorce you or something like that, they just go down to the BI and you're gone. You know, so I mean, that's the problem. So I tell people, get the SRIV because you're a resident here and you can stay here as long as you want. It gives you that protection, Dickie. Let's see. Entry and exit specifics, if you know. It does have some advantages of not paying certain fees or something like that. I don't remember what they are because I don't leave, Dickie. I couldn't tell you, but there is some exit costs that you don't have to pay, and I'm not sure what they are. Okay, but if you stay over a year, that changes, and you do still have to pay. But if it's less, if you're going in and out every year or something like that, then you don't have that fee. But there are some things, and also you can also take in some things from outside the country when you're moving here, and you don't have to pay our customs fees. I think it's like 7,000, up to 7,000 or something like that. But I don't know that much about that because I just deal with all the processing, But yeah, there are some breaks, and also you get a break on Phil Health of like 5% too. And they take you on a trip each year too, usually, and they have a Christmas party. So, and they pay for the trip and they pay for the Christmas party. Robert Batson says, big crash is coming. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I know we'll probably have like a small crash, but I don't think it's going to be a big one in October. Because I think people realize now that we're coming out of this, and that's why I don't think we're going to go into the crash. Chinoy says, guys, let's continue to support Steve by clicking the like button, please. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Chinoy. We're up to 102 and 75 thumbs up, guys. Thank you, guys. Kind of interesting. We got a good thing going on tonight. It's kind of good. We're going all around the place here. All around the world. Let's see. Hercules Journey says, let me see. Hercules Journeys, let's see, I just love it. The Philippine Info Channel, any idea when the Philippines will open up? We get that. We just went through that question, Hercules, but I'll answer it again. The airlines are pushing to get this place open. They're really going after the government, and they're trying to talk to them and get things open before it gets any worse, because they're taking it on the chin for sure. And they're really pushing on the government right now. And also, we're hearing rumors probably in January, but that's just strictly rumors. But I've heard that from 3 good sources. I just want to put that out there. I think something's got to give soon. And possibly Christmas, maybe we'll start hearing things before Christmas maybe. I'd like to see us open up like a green lane or something before Christmas. That'd be awesome and fantastic to have that as a Christmas gift from the government. But with the current MECQs, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll probably know next month when we'll see if they start going down more. That's when we'll know. When we start seeing the COVID cases go down. We'll see. That'll tell us more. Mango Shakes Phil says, enjoy watching your videos. Keep up the great work. Thank you, man. James Curlew says, on the left or right, we all should be concerned about the integrity of our voting system. I agree with you on that, James. And I honestly believe that the integrity of our voting system is crap right now. That's my opinion on that. Whether you're on the left or right, man, we need to have a good voting system so whoever we vote for is actually the person that should be in there. And I'm not going to say anything more than that. You guys know what I'm talking about. Prairie Mark says, my father brought very pretty currency back from the Philippines at the end of World War II. When I looked at them in the drawer as a young boy, about 1960, I always wanted to go there. I am there now. You know something, Mark? I was actually bidding on some Japanese currency last night, and the lady never got back to me. And I'm trying to buy this Japanese currency. She had bundles and bundles of it, and I'm gonna see if I can still get it. It was on some Facebook site, and I'm gonna see if I can get that. I was also thinking about bidding on some beautiful Philippine currency with this beautiful woman on the front of it. It looked really old and nice. It was a 10 peso note. I think they wanted like $30 for it US, but I might end up getting that. Marcus Graham says, an opinion about France's reaction to the nuclear sub announcement by Australia. Actually, I haven't heard that. Heard France's reaction at all. I just started hearing about that this morning, so I can't comment on that because I don't know enough about it. But I do think that we need to have another player in the game, and the fact that the United States is doing that says that China's getting big, and we need to have more players in the game. And unfortunately, it's a dangerous game that we're playing, and I'll just say that. Being a nuclear submariner, I'll just say it's a dangerous chess game that we're playing in this world with nuclear weapons. And when we do that, that means it's starting to get serious. And China ought to knock it off, but they won't, and we all know that. Paul Hansen says the Taliban doesn't play well with anyone, and the Chinese will find that out. Yes, they go by their rules, and I don't think they're going to follow China that much. They might think so, or maybe China will play their games with them. Avert Activity says, any new speculation regarding the mysterious aircraft flyovers? Nothing more than what I said earlier. You know, they had 2 flyovers. One, I believe, ended up being like some sort of an American plane, I believe, and they were having some sort of war games or something that they were playing, and I think that might have had something to do with that. The other one definitely was a Chinese type plane, and they chased after it with 2 Philippine fighters. Okay, and then the Philippine fighters backed off when it started heading out over the sea. So then they gave up chase. Okay, so, but we're almost sure that one's Chinese. And I'm not sure where it was heading. Might have been heading to one of those islands, but I'm not sure. That I'm not sure about. Craig Jordan says, the Philippine Info Channel, did you mean Kevin Falconer, the mayor of San Diego? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Craig. James Corlo, everyone be careful, as class warfare is a powerful tool. Remember that everyone has to comply with the current tax laws, no matter how much or how little you make. Exactly. Smoky Mountain Model, hello Craig Jordan, he says. Prairie Mark, hi BuzzTrans. I was born and raised in Montana, moved to Philippines at age 67. And Prairie Mark's been on here for a long time. Francisco Fletes, I have the 10K one. That's a nice one. The pension, okay, I thought you were talking about something else. See, I have the 10K one. The pension is a little higher. Can't use the 10K deposit for a condo. Minimum deposit for 2 used for a condo is the 20K deposit for SRV. Okay, I gotcha. Craig Jordan at Smoky Mountain Modeler, greetings. Vincent Smith, I still think of the Philippines cohabitation policy. If you upgrade a Filipino lifestyle, you could be stuck paying failed relationship alimony if it doesn't work out. I'm not so sure it's an alimony. I think whatever you bought during that time, they can get half of. I don't think it's alimony, Vincent Smith, but I could be wrong on that. I don't know that much about it. The Filipina P talks more about relationship stuff. We don't get into that too much on this channel. Once in a while we do, but very, very seldom. It's just not like our cup of tea on this channel. Hercules Journey, retired 35. I'm 19 and planning on moving to the Philippines. That's interesting. You got a long wait though before you retire. Let's see. Craig Jordan, Marcus Graham. France is quite ticked off of losing a 40 to 90 billion defense contract. That's what the whole thing is really all about. Probably. Retire 35, Southeast Asia, Hercules Journey, move there to work or retire. Let's see. Francisco Fletes, I'm 41, LOL on SRRV. Every time I go to the PRA, I'm the youngest non-Chinese there. Wow. That's kind of cool. Yeah, they got 27,000 Chinese at like 35 years old. And I think some of them are less than 35, but they used fake birth certificates to get over here, and the government just put them in here as like a 5th column type thing. But that's what they say. That's the rumor. Hercules Journey. Let's see. Wait a second. 4 Android 101 says message retracted. Chinoy, why do some people use the words "my Filipina"? It sounds demeaning, don't you think? Kind of. I don't think they mean it in a demeaning way, though. Feels like you're referring to their wives, like their wives an object, in my opinion. For Android 101, yeah, I don't know. For Android 101, the day after El Salvador went to Bitcoin, Bitcoin lost 50% of its value. That's because everybody was speculating on that, so they pulled, just like you said here, great speculation, a horrible money. Exactly. But it'll go back up. It's going back up now. Chinoy gives me let's see, Craig Jordan gives Chinoy a clap. Chaya Sisawa says, thanks guys, that helped me lots for the shipping box. No problem, Chaya. And thank you to the guys that answered him also. That's a big help. I mean, that's what we're all about on this channel anyway. Retired 35, Southeast Asia. I'm 31, ATM. Still got to check out Philippines for my retirement in the next few years. Was meant to spend 3 months there last year. Have done 7 months in Thailand. You know, when you get here, man, it's a good place. It's a lot different than Thailand, though. I think it's a little bit cheaper here in some spots than Thailand. Lynn Tusi says, good morning. Good morning, Lynn. Welcome aboard tonight. Steve Ford says, hi, Steve. I need to send a shipping container from France to Iloilo. As you live there, do you know of a good storage? I didn't live there. I was actually there. That's where my ex-wife's family was from. But I never lived there. I did have a jeepney business there and stuff like that, but I'd never lived there. It was in Bugasong, Antique, okay? But I don't know of a good storage place down there because I haven't been there in years. It's been years and decades. You know, that's how long it's been. So I wouldn't even know, Steve. Not anymore. Sorry. Chinoy says, hi, Craig Jordan. Frank T says, for Android, no, Bitcoin did not lose 50% value after El Salvador went Bitcoin. Get your info straight. Let's see. I know it lost a little bit, though. I'm not sure. I know it wasn't probably 50% because I know at some point it lost, but I'm not sure when it lost. It lost quite a lot, but yeah, you're right, it wasn't 50%. Dickie Spaz says, for Android, there was a dip, but Bitcoin never came close to losing 50%. Yeah, I think it was like, was like almost 17 or 20%. I don't really follow Bitcoin too much. I follow Cardano. Cardano's like the thing that I follow, but I do follow Bitcoin a little bit. But Bitcoin's too expensive. Let's see, Tim Rapp. I spoke to Mary Rose. She told me I must get there first on a tourist visa, then I can apply for the courtesy SRRV. Tim, just FYI, I don't know when you spoke to her last. You can apply if you under the new program, but she's kind of backed up right now. You can apply for the EED and get in here and get the 9A tourist visa, and you work through her if you want to do that. But if you do that, you really have to sign on with her to let her know that you're serious and tell her that you want to do that. I'm not sure which visa you were going after, whether it was the courtesy visa, which is we call the military visa. For most of the people that are veterans, we call it kind of the military type retirement visa over here. But yeah, it's the courtesy visa. And, you know, that's something you might want to think about. You might want to ask her about that. Or you can call me. You can email me at Steven5975 and just ask me for my phone number. We can talk, you know, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about what's going on with that. Okay? Anybody can call me about that. You guys know that. Just send me an email asking me for my phone number. I'll send it to you. But call me in the evenings, Manila time. I got a call last night at 2 a.m. in the morning from somebody. Just FYI. Let's see, we're at 99 people, 80 thumbs up. Thanks, guys. DJ Joe, Seahawks fan here. Your Pats lost a close game last week. Their rookie quarterback, Mac Jones, balled out, though. Interested to see how he does in week 2 against the Jets. I haven't followed the Pats since Brady left because it just doesn't have that same flavor. You know, I don't know. The Pats, I was really disappointed that they actually let him go and they didn't give him more money or whatever he wanted. Roy Jones, market crash is an invitation to invest cheap and do Roth conversions. Yeah, it's sometimes it's a good thing, yes. You can make a lot of money in a market crash if you have some dry powder for sure. You know, always have some dry powder so that you can invest when it's way down. That's where you make that loss up. Daniel Ford says, at Steve Ford, hi Steve Ford. Mark Norris, I'm retired military, lived a good life for the most, but I have a simple assault charge from a fight 7 years ago. Will that kill my military SRRV? It's actually it's not SSRV, it's SRRV. Okay, but yes, it will. Unfortunately, you have to get that expunged. You can talk to her and ask her, but she has already talked to me about that. She says anything with assault or anything like that, you just tell people it's a no. It's a no-go. So, I mean, Mark, try to get that expunged. If you can get it expunged, then, yeah, you can get back in here on that, okay? Just FYI. I had somebody actually talk to me about that the other day, too. And I just tell them, don't even bother because it's not worth the effort with the PRA until you get that expunged. So it is possible to get it expunged. It just costs a few bucks. For Android 101, Dick Spaz, I work in financial markets, trade daily. Believe as you will. I'm not here to contend with anyone. I just love Steve's channel. Let's see. Daniel Ford, thanks, Android. Daniel Ford, hi, I'm from BC, Canada. We got a lot of people here, Daniel, from BC, and from Canada. We also have Brooke Snyder on here. He's from Canada too. So we got a lot of people coming in here from Canada. I actually have a guy on the street here. He's from Canada, but we don't get along too well. If you saw this guy, you'd understand why. Mark Norris, is there a list of criminal offenses anywhere that would inform tourists about offenses that would stop the SRV? It's usually assault of stuff. Anything touching a person or hurting a person is stuff that will, and some of the stuff like DUIs and stuff like that's minor. They usually will work with that. But you have to run it by Mary Rose, and she asked them. Okay, so there's not any list. Okay, they run it by somebody there. Let's see. It says, would your contact know about this issue? Yes, Mark. Yes. She's not going to give you like there's no real list that I know of. It's mostly, like I said, assault charges. If you put your hands on somebody, that pretty much takes you off the SRV list. You don't even bother trying. Anything where you pulled a gun, you robbed somebody, something like that, probably not. You're probably not going to get in. Okay, so just FYI. But if you need the information, if you need to talk to her, if you have something on your record and you want to talk to her, but she's not a person to call to get information. That's something if you need information on a list or something like that, then I would tell you to call the PRA. She just works processing all these things. So she's not a person to call for just information or anything like that. So I don't send people to her for information. If you need that, then call the PRA. If you need her to talk to her because of something personal, then contact me at Steven5975, and Steven is with a V, at yahoo.com. Okay, Mark, and I'll give you her information. Okay? Frank T says the way to deal with the CCP China is to stop buying their stuff. I agree, man. If enough countries will do that, they will change their ways. I agree 100%. Smoky Mountain Model says, I heard that if you buy things from Amazon or eBay, that purchases under $200 are duty-free. Is that so? You know something? I've ordered things from eBay for $100 or so. And yes, let me see. My page just all popped up, so I'm going to lose some of you guys on some of the questions here. So let me go back here. So I can refind. Okay, now I found it now. Yes, they didn't charge me a nickel, so I would say that's pretty much true, because I ordered a crucifix that I ordered from France that came from a old church over there, and I ordered it from my girlfriend's daughter because she wanted it because she's a Catholic, and I got it for her as a gift. And yes, absolutely, it didn't pay any customs on that. David Holmes says, would you please talk about the advantages and disadvantages of owning a car? Well, if you get in an accident over here, that's the big part. Whether you have insurance or not, people can sue you. Your insurance will pick up a certain amount. Insurance over here is a little bit different than back home, okay? I talk about renting cars over here because it's so cheap to get around. We just rent a car and do what we need to do with a rental car. And we have a driver. For the cost of what you guys pay in the United States to rent a car, I can rent a car and driver over here, and it covers the gas too for the day. So that'll give you a rough idea. I think you guys are paying like $100 a day for a car in the United States, and you got to pay the gas. And if you wanted a driver, it'd be more, but you can't get a driver in the United States, so that's pretty much ruled out. But anyway, but yeah, and over here, transportation where I live is readily available. So that's the other thing, David. Okay, I hope that answers you. I know that's kind of a quick answer. I wish I could answer you better than that, but we have a lot of other people waiting here. But transportation here is readily available if you're not in the provinces. Okay, I'll just say that. And it's so cheap. I mean, it's almost a shame to let the transportation go to waste. It is kind of a pain if you're going out shopping for a lot of stuff. That's when you rent a car. But for me to rent to the mall, you just get a few things. I just get in a jeepney, or I take a tricycle or whatever, and that works for me. If I go to Dasma, I can jump on a bus if I want. It's air conditioned. It's easy. It's just kind of nice. Anders says, good night from an overtaxed Swede. So you guys do get taxed quite a lot. Have a good night though, Anders. Thanks for watching us tonight. Chaya Sisawa says, Steve, are there any private health insurance available in the PH beside the VA there? VA is just for service connections, guys, just to get that clear. Let's see, it says, I'm still waiting to finalize. Sold my home here in Revere, Mass. Couldn't wait to be with my girlfriend there. I like Pacific Cross. Okay, Pacific Cross has a plan here. I call it the peso plan. It's fairly cheap. Chai, if you want some information on that, email me and ask me for my phone number, and we can have a talk. Okay, and I'll be more than glad to talk to you. It's at Steven5975 at yahoo.com. Okay, Steven with a V, 5975 at yahoo.com. And you know, give me a call. We'll chat if you want to talk about some things and ask me some questions. I can even give you prices. I have the price chart here for Pacific Cross. So if you really want to, if you're really interested in that, I can give you prices. There's also Pacific Prime, Chaya. Pacific Prime will give you 10 quotes. Okay, so there's the other one. But I do want to talk to you a little bit about that because you have to pay up front on some things. And with Pacific Cross, guess what? Some of their plans pay the hospital directly. So that's the difference between some of these plans here. So be careful. Smoky Mountain Mauler, Frank, if we did that, Walmart will go out of business, he says. Let's see, I don't know what he's referring to. For Android 101, Geo has done a couple of very good videos on the cohabitation laws there. And we don't really cover that stuff here. Let's see, it says basically it's a huge gambles. Suggest watching Geo for more info. Yeah, we usually don't get into that in here because we're not like kind of like a dating channel. We're more about the retirement stuff. I let those guys kind of stick to their dating stuff, and I don't get into that too much for many reasons. And I also think that most girls over here on the cohabitation thing, they don't go after you. They don't even know about that. They don't follow that stuff online. I've never heard of a person going after somebody because they've cohabitated with somebody over here. It just doesn't happen. It's very rare and far between. I'll be honest about that. I've never heard of anybody having that happen to them, especially an expat. I mean, if you guys know of an expat that had somebody go after them for cohabitating with them, I'd love to hear that story because, I mean, I just never have seen it happen here. You know, I mean, maybe they've mentioned somebody in there, but I talk with expats all the time, and I never hear about that. I'll bet you I talk to more expats than they do because I come in contact with them all day, you know, by talking to them and answering emails and phone calls and stuff like that. Probably way more than they do. Because like I said, they're more talking about dating and things like that. They do talk about other stuff too, but I mean, we kind of stick to the retirement stuff here. But yeah, I'd love to hear that. If anybody knows about that, about cohabitating and somebody that's got in trouble because of it, for living with somebody and have to pay all their stuff, I'd like to hear that, especially if they had to go before a judge. That'd be interesting. Francisco Fletes says, France had a deal with Australia for non-nuclear powered subs that was worth 40 plus billion. Now France is pissed off they lost that contract. They recalled French ambassadors from US and Australia. You know, France has always been like a pain in the butt to everybody. You know what I mean? They really have. I mean, they're like a bunch of crybabies. I remember when they told us we'd have to fly around France when we're heading into, what was it, Desert Storm, I think it was. Remember that? I mean, that's the problem with France. Like, France is, you know, having a tizzy now because they lost some money. But Australia really wants the nuclear-powered submarines because they're way better. But you know something? The diesel boats are a lot quieter. I will say that. But if you're going to launch missiles, you definitely want the nuclear-powered ones because you can stay under longer and you're less likely to get caught. You know, so because you don't have to go up to the surface as much. That's the good thing about the nuclear-powered ones. There's good and bad about both submarines. You know, this is coming from a submariner too. Carl Wilkins says, watching from Belgium. Frank T says, I read in the news that Duterte fired 500 BI officers earlier this year for allowing 50K Chinese just walk through. I didn't hear that. If you have the cash, things row in the Philippines. I'm not sure that 500. I never heard that. It was allowed. It wasn't that maybe you're not talking about the same thing I'm talking about. I'm talking about the SRV program let 27,000 in plus their families. So yeah, it was probably about 50,000 or more Chinese that got in here because of that. But that wasn't so much the BI that I think, but they did know about it. Yes. And there is kind of a feud going on there too, between the BI and a lot of there's different groups that work with the SRRV and the PRA, so yeah, there is some truth to that. There are some pissed off people, let's put it that way. Let's see, we got 103 people, 89 thumbs up. James Cup says, what time is it over there? It is about 20 after 11, and we're going to end this in about 10 minutes, maybe 15. We got 106 people on. We can keep it going for a while if you guys want. I might go over a little bit. We'll see. We'll keep it going for a while here. Let's see. Chaya says, anyone from 3rd Army ID there? I'm an AH-64 pilot with 1,600 hours flying time and 34 years with the 3rd ID, Chaya says. So if anybody hears that, answer up. Chai, we're thinking about doing a page, just FYI, sometime in the future. I might actually have somebody help me with that. If somebody wants to volunteer, you can contact me at Steven5975, and you can kind of become like a person that would help the channel a little bit. And, we're all about helping people here, but I'm going to need some moderators or something for that at some point in the future. But we can probably talk about that later. I still got to set it up first, so we'll see what happens. Janoy says, here they don't say my American to refer to the girlfriends or wives. Just saying. You're right. I agree. Like my Filipina. I don't know if it's demeaning. I think it's kind of cute. My Filipina. And they refer to themselves as a Filipina. Being a Filipina, they say. Things like that. So, you know what? I think it's a little bit different over here. There are some things like we say different than they say. So I think with them it's okay. So it's not demeaning. James Curloos says, stationed at Clark for 3 years, met my wife, married 32 years, cannot wait to get back. PI is full of amazing people. Yes, it is. I agree 100% on that. No matter what life throws at them, they always find time to smile and laugh. You know what? Even when times are tough, we smile and laugh over here now. And it's kind of funny, my neighbor's always got a smile on his face, even when we're going through some tough times around here. And we do sometimes over here because of this MECQ stuff. Or could be anything, but even when times are tough over here, my buddy always has this big smile on his face. I think it's kind of funny. Craig Jordan says, Francisco Flites, reasons are usually about money, not principle. I would be mad as hell losing that kind of money. Yeah, but I wouldn't pull my ambassadors, though. Let's see, John Allen says, hi, Steve. Thailand will open on 1st of October. Do you think the Philippines will be far behind? No. I think with the airlines pushing on them, I think something's going to give pretty soon. The airlines are really pushing hard because they're hurting. And also the tourists, if they keep it closed much longer, these tourist facilities that they have here they're going to be decrepit because there's nobody keeping them up. I went down to Tanza Oasis and the place was a ghost town down there, and it was kind of sad because a lot of things they didn't have, and it just didn't seem its usual self. I was really kind of upset about that because I really like going to that place, and I hope it's still the same way it was when I go back. God willing, it will be. I'm really looking forward to going back to Tanza Oasis and having a good vacation. Let's see, for Android 101, okay, within a week on BTC and more like 30%, but there is no value added on discussing monetary policy with pundits on either side of any debate. We just kind of do it for fun on here anyway. Edward says, why the thumbs down? Maybe some people who suggest other channels, LOL. Edward, we get a lot of people doing thumbs down in here. I'm not quite sure why. I could do a talk about Mother Teresa and we get thumbs down. And I mean that. We have a couple of haters on here because probably they were cut out for swearing or because of the way they were disgusting. Some people come on here and they just don't convey their message that they want to get across in the right way, and they insult people. And those are the people that get taken off. I don't mind people talking about the opposite side if you want. I have no problem with that. Let's just have a decent discussion, though. And we always do on here usually, and I respect the people that do that. But when people come on here and leave nasty grams for me or my subscribers or something like that, those are the people I take off. And those are the people that usually leave the thumbs down. We do have some people that disagree with us or whatever. They disagree with the fact that sometimes we kind of creep into politics a little bit. I don't like to talk about politics, but sometimes you kind of have to when you're talking about China. And some things we do have to talk about that because it's part of what we're talking about at the moment. And unfortunately, that's just the way it is. And some people want me to just totally stay off politics. And sometimes that's almost damn near impossible. I mean, anybody with common sense knows that, you know. See, Mark Norris says, for Smoky Mountain, do you have any Filipino contacts in the Knoxville store? I am in Bristol looking to go to the Philippines. Archipelago says, wearing masks, exploring Philippines ruins the experience. Yes, in a very big way, man. Let me tell you, if there's one thing I hate around here is wearing my mask and my shield when I go out. And that's why I rip my mask and my shield off. As soon as I get to the park, I take that off. I mean, it's such a freedom to me to be able to walk around without a mask when I get to the park. And fortunately, there's nobody there walking around. Some days there is, but they usually stay away from you. You know, I'm more than like 100 feet away from them, so it really doesn't hurt anybody. I had a lady drive by me the other day. I was walking between my house and one of the rentals over here that I showed the other day. Because we actually have 2 subscribers. They're going to move down the street here. Okay, and I was walking back and I didn't have my mask on. And this lady stopped and told me to put my mask on. And I was like, you know, there was nobody on the street around me or anything, but she was telling me to put my mask on. I was just ready to walk down the walkway to my place. And like, there was nobody around. And she yelled out of the car, put your mask on. And she stopped to tell me. She rolled down and went. She was polite about it. She was a nurse. But, you know, I disagree with her on that, because to walk from one place to another, it's not a big deal. You know, sometimes I think these people go a little bit overboard with some of their stuff. When you see somebody that's not even near somebody, why tell them to put a mask on? You know, if they're not bothering anybody and hurting anybody. I see kids across the street playing basketball. I'm not going to go over and tell them to put their mask on. You know, I just don't feel right. Tito Jeff's Life says, Steve, just wondering how you get a new ATM card, credit card from a bank in the USA. I'm using Schwab, but I wonder how they would get a card to me. You know, some places will mail it to you, okay? Some banks will, but most will not, okay? And yeah, you're right, the mail is not trustworthy in the PH. Now, let me explain this. I did a couple of videos on this, and I just talked about this recently too. And this is the thing. What you do is you have somebody's address back there where you get all your mail mailed to, okay? And what happens is they mail it to you. Either they can mail it like in a registered and insured package or whatever, so you get it. Put it in a book, in the middle of a book, put the credit card in there. But have the person take a picture of the credit card so you can register it. And then what you do is you go on the app, okay? And you shut the card off. So even if they steal that card, they can't use it. Okay, so that's the great thing about it. So register the card and then go onto the app and then just shut the card off until you receive it. Or you have it sent DHL and have them put it in a book or something. No problem, you'll get it. You know, and if it gets lost, so what? You have another one sent to you, and guess what? You know what? You do the same thing, you shut that one off. Okay, and you tell them you lost the other one, they'll shut that one off totally anyway. But they can't do anything because it's shut off. So that's the way you do it. I have a couple of videos on that. You guys can check that out. If you want to know how to send credit cards and stuff, we have stuff on that, okay? Frank T says, Steve, with the influx of foreigners getting into the Philippines next year, do you think that they will drive up prices for everyone? Frank says this. I'm not sure. I know we're going to have a tsunami of people. I mean, that's my honest opinion. And I'm talking to a lot of them right now, and I'm seeing a lot of these people coming in here on the SRV because they want to get in here bad. And the wealthier people are willing to pay to get in here, and they're using the SRV process because of the trial thing, getting in here. Some of these people are going to be in here in 10 or 12 weeks. So, yes, I think it might drive up some prices in some areas. Some places it won't. Will it affect Tracy Martirez where I live? No. We have quite a lot of people coming in here, but it's not enough to affect us here. If anything, it'll probably help the economy, I think. I think it'll help people here. And I think it'll help in a positive way. If it makes prices go up a little bit, I think there'll be more money going around here for the people that live in the area too. And that money, believe it or not, my money helps a lot of people here. And that's a good thing. I mean, it's almost like you have your own little like world around here. You know, like, and I help a lot of my neighbors and stuff. And trust me, your money here helps a lot of people. But will it drive prices up? It might on some items, but not likely that much. James Cupp says, Brady said in an interview this week that he thinks he can play till he's 50, then retire in Florida. I think he probably could. He's on a really extreme diet, and his wife helps him watch his diet too, and he's really, really good on that. Trust me, I think he could play till he's 55. You know, I really, he's not really injured or anything. He's playing well. He's great. Let's see. Smoky Mountain Modeler says, Mark Norris, I haven't been there yet. I intend to go there and get some packing boxes. I'm in Newport, so there aren't many Filipinos here. Let's see. For Android 101, he says, Tito, have a friend and relative send you a new card via FedEx or DHL. Brooke Snyder's on here. Another Canadian. Late to the party. We're going to be going off pretty soon anyway, Brooke, but we'll stay on for a few more minutes. That's okay. Karsten Madsen says, I can't go. Let's see. Craig Jordan says, Philippine Info Channel, in reference to your video earlier in the week, do you recommend any particular password managers to safely store your passwords? I know there's some apps out there for stuff like that, and I don't use those. I have my own way of taking care of things. Because if you lose your phone, then you're kind of doomed unless you get another phone. You remember the password to the password manager thing. So I don't know. My computer stores my Mac stores those in there anyway, and I save them in there. And nobody can get in there unless they can find out what my password is. And very few people know what it is. But I mean, I have my way of like storing my own and hide my own passwords around. And I mean, you really have to keep on top of your passwords over here, let me tell you, because you know some of these banks, they change your password every 6 months for safety reasons. So, but no, I mean, I have my Mac do all that stuff because I have the iPhone. It saves all that stuff in there. Mango Shakes Phil says, can you get SRV with medical issues or disabilities? Yes, I believe they have a retirement visa strictly for that. Okay, but I'm not that up on that one because I've never dealt with anybody on that. Like I said, we deal mostly with the $20,000 SRV one and the $10,000, and we also deal with the courtesy visa, which is for the military people. Okay, and I deal mostly with the courtesy visa, which is we call the veterans visa here. Okay, but I believe there is one for that. Yes, I believe there might be another type of visa outside the retirement system for stuff like that too, but I'm not quite sure. Okay, because they have some like kind of hidden visas that are out there too. But yes, you can get in here, I believe on that. There is something out there. Check it out. Go onto the PRA website. I'm not that up on that one, so I really can't. I wish I could answer you more, Phil, you know, on that one, but I just don't know that much about it because I've never had anybody ask about that. That's actually the first time. I'm gonna have to read up on that one a little bit more. Okay, let's see. For Android one, try KneePass. Let's see. Many IT guys use it. Okay, it sounds interesting. You're talking about for the passwords. Becky King says there isn't going to be a market crash. The politicians on both sides do the same song and dance at the end of every fiscal year. Vincent Smith says, I hear the flight there is 22 hours. Yeah, it's a long time, man. And sometimes you have to do a layover in China somewhere. Does that include the 11 hours of advancing the clock once you land? Good question. I'm not sure. I can't recall. You know, I don't remember. I don't think it was 22 hours of flying. I think you're right. So it's shorter than 22 hours, but trust me, it seems like 22 hours. CJ says that is the weakness of capitalism. As long as large corporations, yeah, it's not 22 hours of flying. I'll go back to that for a second. But CJ says that is the weakness of capitalism. As long as large corporations continue to always make profits and move jobs overseas, we will never stop buying products from China. You're probably right. Let's see, I got 114 people on here, 112 thumbs up. We're doing good, guys. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. Gregory Wiley says, hi from Cebu City. How you doing, Greg? Welcome aboard, man. Dickie Spaz says, I'd be interested to see what the numbers look like once the Philippines do fully open. Those who actually make the trip versus those who will still hem and haw around. You know, Dickie, I gotta tell you that there's a lot of people that are renting way ahead thinking that we're going to open up at the beginning of the year, and I tend to believe that too. I've got 2 rentals over here, right down the street here, that are already rented out, and they don't care if they go out a year, okay? One of the guys is a SRRV holder, and he's going to be here probably in about 10 to 12 weeks, I'll bet you. So we'll see. Maybe longer, maybe sooner. Sinful says, Smoky Mountain Modeler. Then we would no longer have people at Walmart. They must be having a conversation going on. Let's see. Hellraiser says, hello from Little Rock. Dickie Spaz, Sinful's LOL. Steve Ford, hi Steve. I want to insure my fiance and her 3 kids. Any recommendations? Do they have family policies there? Also, is it valid on different islands when she moves to Iloilo? Yes. Pacific Cross Peso plan. Okay, they have. You can contact them about getting a family plan. Okay, I have a couple of videos on that, Steve, and it gives all the ladies' information and everything. So if you go back to those, I did actually quite a few of them in the past, and it gives all the information. Or, well, I wouldn't go with the other company. Pacific Prime is okay too. They give you 10 different quotes. Okay, but Pacific Cross, they pay the hospital directly. Okay, in some cases, if you get the access card, ask them if you can get one that pays directly. That's the peso plan. They have a dollar plan if you want a really, really good plan, but it gets expensive. This gives you about $30,000 worth of coverage. It's like $1.5 million or something like that, and it gives you a room, you know, like a single room rather than sharing it with other people too. So you get a nice room and everything. You can kind of pick and choose. It goes up and down with what you choose. So it gives you a lot of choices so you can save money. Just FYI, Steve. Okay, that's good to know. Please check out my insurance videos. We put a lot of effort into those too. We put like a week's worth of effort into looking into those. But you can call Pacific Prime and Pacific Cross, and you can look online too to those places. But if you need an agent, use the agent that I recommend in that vlog. Okay, but check out the vlog that I did. It's a ways back. Okay, we have I think we're almost getting up to 650, 700 videos now. So. Travel Mike says, what's up, bro? Craig Jordan, consumers always want a bargain when shopping. Yeah, they do. Over here, man, I see everything as a bargain when I walk in the markets here. Everything's so cheap compared to the U.S. Sinful says, Chaya Sisawat, thanks for your service. Yes, definitely, Chaya. Thank you for your service, man. And it's good to see somebody from Hanscom, you know, from Bedford. Like I said, I used to live on the Bedford-Billerica line on Route 4. So I know that area. It's a nice area. Smoky Mountain Modeler. Hey, Mike, getting ready to start the day. Craig Jordan. Consumers generally don't shop based on national loyalty. No, they don't. They just grab the stuff and go. You know, I'm kind of the same way, unfortunately. I just grab something and I always forget to choose whether it's Chinese or American or, you know, whatever. Dickie Spaz says, there are cohabitation laws, but it's a lot of fear-mongering. Yes, it is. You're right, Dickie. I agree with you on that 100%, man. You're 1,000% right. These cohabitation law things that people are talking about is just a bunch of bull. It's a bunch of drummed up fear-mongering, and it doesn't happen here. It doesn't. And if we keep telling people, these people this, then they're going to figure it out, and then they're going to go after and do things to people. But these girls don't know about stuff like that. And they're not going to go out and get an attorney because they don't have the money to do that. So, anyway. Let's see. Smoky Mountain Model says, see you tonight, Mikey. He's talking to somebody else, I guess. James Cup. America left $85 million in Afghanistan. Guess who the Taliban gave half of that equipment to? Starts with the big C. You're probably right, man. I agree with you on that. I'm all in on that, man. Let's see. Sinful says, Smoky Mountain Model, yes, job loss would be bad. Just meant the videos of people of Walmart. No loss there. Mark Norris, I'm 59, husky guy who sweats a lot. So you're about the same age as me. And high humidity drains me. It might just be my body and some medical problems. How long does it take to adjust to the heat? Is pH heat similar to South Texas? Well, I don't know. I don't know what South Texas is like because I've never lived there. I've been through there before, but I mean, it's some parts of the year it's sticky and humid here, and other times of the year it's dry. You know, but I mean, right now we're kind of in the sticky, wet season. And you know, when the sun comes out here, yeah, it's very humid and sticky, and it's bad for your skin, Mark. You can get these things that you can freeze, and you put them on your neck, and it keeps you cool as you walk. But they're only good for about a half an hour or so. But most of the time, if you're taking like a jeepney or something, that's when it's hot. Man, it's hot in there. I always sit near the back or I sit in the front seat. So just a tip. Sometimes it's best to rent a car and just have the AC. But that's my answer to that, Mark. And also if you're worried, Mark, if you're really worried about it being hot, move to Baguio. Move to Baguio or Tagaytay. It's a little bit cooler there. In fact, it's a lot cooler in Baguio. Okay, or you can if you really want to get away from it all, move to Batanes. Not Bataan, Batanes. It's Batanes. It's like moving to Ireland, and there's a steady wind there all day long, so it's a little bit cooler, and it can be sticky there if you're in a house or something like that. But outside, it's you got the steady wind there, and they're beautiful islands that look like Ireland. Okay, and the water there's I heard it's really nice up there. Brooke Snyder says, Steve-O, what type of shoes do you normally wear when out? I read where most people wear sandals. I don't wear sandals, man. I hate sandals. I hate flip-flops. I hate things like that. I wear my I don't know, Brooke, if you were here when we did the video about Sperry topsiders or docksiders or whatever they call them. That's what I wear. All my shoes, every single pair of my shoes are all Sperry's. In fact, everybody in the family has a pair of Sperry's. They're a little bit more expensive, but I find them that they last long, and they're cool because they're low cut and everything. You just get the low cut socks. Okay, and let me tell you something. I love Sperry's. You know, they have sneakers, they have shoes, and I have all different types of Sperry's. And everybody in the family, like I said, has them, and they love them. And they have a sale. It's 2 for 1. You buy 2, you get 1 pair free, and that's where you get where you save. So they are a good deal, and they're very well made, and they last a long time. I had a pair of leather Sperry docksiders. I call them docksiders or topsiders, whatever you want to call them. And I had those things for, 15 years. And I was wearing them even just before I left. And then somebody stole them, which is kind of funny. But they were really, really old, and I loved those shoes because they were all broken in. But anyway, that's what I wear, Sperry. And you'll enjoy them too because you can wear them barefoot. So it's kind of like, it's cool. Or you can wear the low-cut socks if you do want to wear socks. But the leather ones you can wear barefoot. I mean, it doesn't matter. Mark Gomez says, count me as your moderator. I would be honored. I'm going to ask again about that, Mark. Okay, at sometime in the future when we get that set up, I'll ask that on a live stream, or I'll let people know about the thing, and then we'll get it all set up. Give me some time to work on that, and we'll get something set up. You know, we do have a Philippine info channel thing, but the channel I can't get to it because it was an old thing that I set up, and then I got blocked off Facebook, and I could never get it back. And unfortunately, we wouldn't call it that. We would call it something else. So I can't get that back. I don't even know if anybody goes on there anymore, okay, because it's been down for so long. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll get something set up. I'll let you know though, Mark, on what we call it, okay? Smoky Mountain Mall says, Sinful's people of Walmart. Let's see. Michael L. says, I'm in to catch the tail end. We're about to end anyway here. We're up to 108 minutes. We've actually done a long show. We'll end this in about another 5 minutes, guys. But I'll answer a few more here, and then we'll get off here for the night, and we'll do another one next Saturday. And if I'm in the mood, I might do one during this week because I got some free time this week, and maybe we'll do a surprise one or something. Gregory Wiley, I always say that, but then I end up getting busy or something. But we always do the Saturday one no matter what. We've been doing this for quite a while now too. Gregory Wiley says, the BI was caught accepting bribes to put Chinese on the list to bypass immigration at the airport. Okay, all right. So you guys weren't talking about the SRRV because the SRRV had 27,000 people get in here. And now that's a bad thing, because they don't know who these people were. They were all like 35-year-old Chinese people, and they think that some of the birth certificates might have been forged so they could get military people in here. But that's pretty well known now in government here. Philip Rogers says, hey Steve, I lived in Manila 2011, did not like it there, but I can get an American breakfast. 3 places I could walk to. How far is it to you, to American breakfast from you? Actually, it's about 15 minutes. I can walk downtown and get a good American breakfast. Okay, it's not that bad. Or I can walk down to McDonald's down the street and I can get a breakfast there too. That's the problem with, let's see, Chinoy says, that's the problem with low wages in the Philippines. It makes them turn into corruption. Yes, that's the problem. And if they do this in the United States, if they keep knocking the dollar, I mean, I think the same thing is going to happen in the U.S., unfortunately. I'm kind of afraid of that. everything I see going on in the world today is just, it makes you shake your head and wonder what the heck's going on and who's behind all this. Edward says, no worries, Steve. Most of us appreciate you. Thanks, Edward. I really appreciate you guys, too. I really do. Roy Jones, I hate Mother Teresa. Yeah, okay, Roy. Michael L. says, Schwab, Philip Rogers, thumbs down is a good thing. It means you are actually talking about meaningful stuff. Maybe. Sometimes I get it for nothing. I mean, like, it's usually somebody, I know that they're not watching it. They get me. Sometimes I get 3 thumbs down as soon as I post a video. And I know the video's like 20 minutes long, and I'll get 3 thumbs down almost automatically. So I know it's just some goober out there that just doesn't like the channel or something, for whatever reason. You know, it does. I don't let it bother me, though. There's those type everywhere. You get them everywhere. You're not going to get away from them. Let's see. York PA says, Steve, I love your channel and listen every chance I get. I'm getting closer and closer to retirement, so I can't wait to get to Southeast Asia and visit the Philippines as well. Thanks, York. I really appreciate it, man. Let's see. Robert Nago says, I knew Mother Teresa. She would still love you, Roy Jones. She probably would. You know what's funny about, we talk about Mother Teresa, but Mother Teresa actually has a place right down the street here, the Brothers of Charity. It's like a satellite of her thing in India, and it helps special needs children right down the street here. And I actually went in there, and it's a beautiful place that they have set up. They have 40 children in there that are special needs. It's actually right down the street here. We actually have one of the guys that's coming over here to retire. He is, he's going to probably work there and assist them there, and he wants to volunteer there to help. And that's kind of cool, you know, because he wants to work with the special needs kids down there. And he can't do it right now because they're not open to that right now because of the COVID. But once they open up, he wants to go and do that when he gets in here, when they open up. He's actually one of the people that is renting over here. Nice guy, too. We actually have 2 guys that are nice guys that are going to be moving right down the street here. And we also have Brooke, who's moving in town here, too. So we're going to have like a kind of a cool little group here. Plus, we have my friend Rick coming over here, too. So we have a lot of good people coming here. It's going to be, you know, good days ahead. Chaya Sisawa says, thanks, Steve. I'll be contacting you as soon as I'll get there. Having a great evening or morning every day. Everyone. Okay, there we go. Martin Harvey, when you are landing in the Philippines, the pilot welcomes you to the PH. And lastly, adjust your watch to local time, which is currently 1976. It's part of the appeal of the place. There we go. Roy Jones says, thank you, Robert J.K. Let's see. Let me see. I'll go down here. Michael W. says, USA and Schwab will FedEx a new ATM card. Yeah, but when you do that, do what I said. Shut off the card. Register the card first and then have it sent. You go onto the app and you shut it off. Okay, Michael, that's what you do. So if it gets stolen or something, that's why I say you can send it any way you want. But yeah, you're right. You should send it the safest way you can possibly send it. But send it in a book also. Craig Jordan says, the Philippine Info Channel. So Tracy Martinez has their patrolling mask Karens? Yes, they do, unfortunately. So Becky King says, I had my ATM card mailed to me directly in my Philippine address from the bank. No problems. Yeah, some banks will do that. They will do it. The mail in the Philippines works pretty good. 45 days to a remote island. Actually, my bank said that they would send it to me if I change my address over here, which gets kind of risky because what they do then is they cancel your account after like a year if you're over here or something like that. And they said, well, you're no longer a resident of the United States, so we canceled your account. So you got to be careful doing that. Okay, just FYI. Some banks will cancel you after a little while. After you're over here for like more than so much time, they tell you that they don't, but they do. Atomic Vagrant says, if you struggle in the U.S. with weight, diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, drinking, anger, etc., it'll get worse in the Philippines. Yes, sometimes it does. You know, for some people, it depends where your heart is. You know, I actually opened up my heart over here, and my attitude has changed a lot over here for the good. So. Francisco Fletes says, USAA and Navy Fed mail it. Let's see, it gives you a legit U.S. address and then forward it all your mail from the U.S. to the Philippines. It's a mail forwarding service. That's cool. Sinful says, Francisco Fletes, good info, thanks. Let's see. Zane Underwood's on here. I remember that name. Hey, Steve, hello from Oregon, catching you on the tail end of the stream, probably, but hoping all is well, my friend. But, Pencil and paper, you won't get hacked. That's actually the way I do it. And I erase I have like a big list of, I use that for my passwords. And then I just change it as it changes. Let's see. Sinful says, I rented my house and paid a year in advance. That's what a lot of people do because it's so cheap, man. Like $80, just pay for the whole year. You know, that's a deal, you know. But anyway, guys, I'm going to end it here. We got 115 minutes. We're way over past that not usual 90 minutes. We're about 10 till 12 here at midnight. So I just want to say, guys, God bless, and thank you for joining us. And we will do this again next week. And I'm going to look more into, if I get some free time this week, I'm going to try to look into opening up that Facebook thing for us guys. And at least we can go on there and we can chit-chat on there and enjoy some time on there talking to each other. Even if I'm not on there, at least we can get information shared on there. And that's what I want to do, is I want to get like some sort of Facebook thing going. We can all share information on there and tell each other things. And what I'll do is I'll drop some of my videos on there, like the things about credit cards, things like that. We can do that. Anyway, guys, I want to thank all you guys for coming on here tonight. And we'll be on here again next Saturday night. We'll be on here at the same time at 10 p.m. Manila time on Saturday. Thanks, guys. God bless.